kind of just drive round here and then eventually you get on it at the end is not the case any longer. It may have been in the old days because the cars in that era just wouldn't take that kind of punishment. The design of a V8 supercar now is such that you can drive at 11 tenths for lap after lap after lap. You find more and more time in your own mind, and it tends to be a little mind game. You think, you know what, my last lap, I got away with that. I can do it a little bit more. Maybe I can get another 6 inches up the road here, or use a bit more of the exit space. And Kelly then, as he came out of turn 1, was as close as you'd want to go to the dirt on the exit of the road. And then up here you find as the fuel load burns off, you can't believe how far you can get up here before you have to jam the brake pedal on, grab third gear and get through turn 2. This is Luke Youlden.
Gaps out to 25 seconds. It's really been ballooning. He's trying to hang on to those leading Commodores, Rick Kelly and Todd Kelly, but it's just been slipping from his grasp lap after lap. 25.1 seconds the gap now. He did a 2:12.3. Kelly did a 2:9.8. It's actually getting larger and larger as this stint unfolds.
25 years of age, Luke Youlden. Todd Kelly, 23, and Rick Kelly, 20. In a handful of laps, these guys are going to hand it over to the 30-somethings and let it roar to the end.
Cito's not that far behind the Super Cheap Autos car. It's only 10 seconds. It's been pretty static, though. He hasn't been closing the gap to Youlden at all.
Just on the last lap, he's made a yield, though. Look at that. Youlden was a 12.3. So Glenn's picked up nearly 1.5 seconds on that lap.
At the top of the mountain. Good consistent run from Seaton and Lowndes. A lot of people wouldn't have expected this car to be in a competitive position. They've struggled with chassis balance setup, particularly its appetite for tyres. But they've really kept it well and truly in the competition.
Two good operators at this place. That's one of the key reasons, and FPR have been able to give them a reliable car today. There's the margin, Seaton to Bow.
Heading towards 50 straight laps without a safety car interruption.
So Bow's closing.
He's only 7.2 seconds behind the Caterpillar Ford, so there's some fairly elastic positions going up there in the top 5. Longhurst is just out of it in 6th.
Sometimes those times don't tell the entire story because obviously traffic can have an impact here as well.
Well, Ford Performance Racing was a race team set up by ProDrive, and our own Greg Rust is down with one of the top men from that organisation.
Sure ain't, Mark, and with their managing director, Nick Fry. I guess welcome back to Australia. We saw you at the beginning of the season. We're almost at the end of it. How's the year been as far as your involvement in FPR is concerned?
Well, we're very pleased with progress. As you know, we only bought the team 9 months ago. With 12 people, we've now got 40 people and doing pretty well here.
How does ProDrive as an organisation, which has been successful in all kinds of endeavours in World Rally and sports cars, how have you found V8 Supercar, and what sort of input from your experience in other categories has helped you?
Well, this is quite complicated. I don't think anyone walks into a category and is successful straight away. So this is a 1 or a 2 year program. I think what we've been able to bring so far is maybe a bit of analytical rigor to understand things like the suspension and the engine. We're working on an engine in England at the moment, which hopefully will see the light of day later in the year. So things are progressing reasonably well.
Mixed day for you here today.
Yeah, it has. It's been a bit up and down, but you know, Craig and Glenn doing an absolutely great job, and a few more laps to go, so fingers crossed.
Thanks, Nick. We'll let you get back to it.
Thank you.
That engine they've been working on in the UK, they've been working on all year, and it keeps letting go on them over there at the moment, so that they were hoping to have it here for this weekend, but that wasn't the case. So that was a bit of a setback, but it doesn't seem to have hurt them too much in the way that the race has unfolded. They've had fuel efficiency.
Whoa, there goes another one.
He's hit the wall.
Car 19.
Now, is that the safety car that everyone's been praying for?
Oh, that's not going to go anywhere, Marco, with Owen Kelly, I think, behind the wheel.
Is he going to try and...
Just as we were talking to the FPR boys.
It's David Bernard at the wheel in position 22. And that car has been in the wars throughout the weekend. Now, he's got some serious damage there, and whether he's going to be able to limp it around to the pit lane will determine whether we get a safety car out.
Tell you what, he's he'll be lucky to get it around there, but it's going all right now. So a little bit of a tangle with 65, gets pushed wide at the Conica bend and straight into that wall.
I don't think he made contact with the better electrical car. He just took avoiding action, and he's gone right off into the marbles and all the dirt and garbage there and straight into the concrete wall.
isn't it a frustrating process where you get out into that low grip stuff and there's just no way you can get the car back? It must look so odd for viewers. You think, well, just how they get around the corner, but there's just no way you can steer the car in those conditions.
Yeah, you can see all that dirt and rubbish there. Beautiful shot of it. They call it the marbles, Neil, because it's actually rolls of rubber, but the effect is like driving on marbles.
I would have said he's going a bit quick here.
Yeah.
Ooh. Grinding that wheel into the bitumen.
Where is it going to end? Will it end in pit lane?
Or in tears.
Or in tears. I think it's already ended in tears, but
Very careful here.
sparks flying everywhere.
He's going to get it back, I think.
Yeah, he'll get it back okay.
Yep. Here we
Super
go.
careful there because he doesn't have much to steer that car with.
Super Cheap Autos Ford is in. Luke Ilden's out. Stephen Ellery takes over for the run to the flag.
Okay, reset fuel, mate. Snap your brake for me, please.
So they didn't get that safety car period they were hoping for that changeover. That's going to cost them even more time. They were 32 seconds down on the leading pair when he peeled off into pit lane. Meanwhile,
Just going to have to watch the left front, Steve. That's two we've got off now with little flat spots, and I'm in a tread miss.
I tell you what, he's not messing around getting this thing in.
he's going to make it too.
It's bizarre.
The wheel has done the job. It's just kept the front suspension off the ground and provided him with a skid.
Careful coming into pit lane, Dave. Remember, you won't have the steering you used to.
It's Dave Patterson on the radio, his engineer.
Slow down, slow down.
Would have thought that wasn't going to go anywhere about 6 Ks ago. And now he's managed to limp it all the way back in. So he seems to have fairly good steering because he's had no problems all the way around there, given the situation.
Avoided bringing the safety car out too. So more repairs for car 19.
And it's the other side this time. I think it was the front right last time, wasn't it? Need the Go-Jacks under it. John Gray on the case again. He's sick of the side of the front of this car.
Stop bringing it in. Yes. It's a tough place, Mount Panorama. It's completely now encased in concrete. So anywhere you get it wrong, there's very, very little room for error.
Initiated the fire extinguisher there just to...
Activated the hydrant.
Just so you can't see.
Just add more confusion. Well, what about the race picture itself? Rick Kelly versus Todd Kelly. 7 seconds is the difference. Lowndes and Seaton are holding on to a podium position right now. 31 full laps to go in the Bob Jane T-Marts 1000. Here we go. We're getting set now for the sprint to the line. The Cat car comes in. FPR's best performer this afternoon. Glenn Seaton hands it over to Craig Lowndes. The wheels go on. The fuel goes in as accurately as possible so the car can be as light as possible. Mind you, it'll be pretty much a full tank for this last run to the 161st lap and the checkered flag. Also coming in is the race leader. And it'll be Rick Kelly handing over to Greg Murphy. Here we go. Rick has done a pretty good job out there, although his brother Todd has cut the margin down at this point to just over 6 seconds. They are yet to come into the pits, the Holden Racing team. So when all this is shuffled down, it'll be Murphy versus Scaife in the run to the line.
Clean the screen if we can.
Slowest thing here, Billy, will be the refuel. They've got to fill that fuel tank full of Optimax for the last time today. And that is the longest process. 23 seconds. Nice turnaround.
Reset fuel.
Well, car 6 did a good turnaround.
Radio out, losing your belts when it's time.
51 did a good turnaround. Now, Todd Kelly will vacate the seat for Mark Scaife.
It'll be a battle between Scaife and Murphy to the flag.
No love lost there.
And here they go. Crew jump into action. Check it out on the Shell Optimax clock. Greg Rust is on the spot.
Mark, the crucial thing I think with both of these stops is it will be a full tank of gas for both of them. With 51, they went right to the top of the tank. Fresh tyres on. Mark Scaife is in. Kelly is out. Let's watch what happens here with car 1. They are not using a stopwatch to time this. Looks like it's a full tank. There you go.
Go. Watch the speed limit.
Watch throttle, mate. You're in a good position now. Nice and smooth.
And that sets up an enthralling run to the line.
I got you, mate.
He's got to do 29 or
Set your
29,
bars and
30
bias,
laps on
mate.
this
Set your
tank.
bars and bias.
So look at that. Here comes
He's the leader on the
T-Marts
left.
Commodore. Takes back the lead. As Mark Scaife trundles up pit lane with the speed limiter on.
Doesn't that kill you? When you've got the, you know, and I've seen that. You look out the side of the car and you see the guy, you see the target, and you think, oh, if I can only switch this thing on.
I'm going to go and get him. So there you are. This is the battle for the lead. T-Marts Commodore has had this race by the throat for most of the day.
I have to add, and some people have asked from time to time, why do we have it? It's just purely for pit lane safety. In the old days, wasn't that long ago that you could blast through the pit lane any speed you wanted to. There used to be some fair lunatics by the time they got to the end of it. And you imagine with crew like this, with their backs to the traffic, it was just fearful. And in today's insurance climate, that's unacceptable. So
It's extraordinarily dangerous, wasn't it, sometimes?
Okay, Richard, can you please reset your door and your rock to leave the car on reserve pump, mate? That fuel is reset.
So car 11 rejoins car 34. Shown some great pace today, but that early drama has dropped them right out of contention. They've continued to run.
They're 22nd at the moment, and they still hold the lap record at 2:8.6726. So at least they'll go away with some bragging rights from the pace that they've achieved.
Always leaves you wondering what might have been, doesn't it? So
What's your pit lane speed, GT? Adjust your bias and your brake. And your bars.
So it gets back into the action. And we're settling down to a fight now between Greg Murphy and Mark Scaife to the flag.
Don't forget, after this race, we're going to cross to Suzuka, Japan for the final round of the World Formula One Championship. Rubens Barrichello for Ferrari on pole from Montoya. Oh, car 21, the Aussie male entry with John at the wheel and loops it around at turn 1. They're technically not supposed to touch those yellow things, but I don't reckon Bondi or Tim are going to be too worried when you back over them like that.
It's coming out of the pit exit as car 11 sweeps through.
Further to the Formula One grid, Tamada and Panis third and fourth. Webber is sixth. Join us after this race. It'll be a beauty.
Rusty?
Tony Longhurst is out of car 2. A refreshed Jimmy Richards gets in. Tyres already on. Good slick stop for car 2 here for the Holden Racing team. And again, looks like a full tank of gas for these guys.
27 laps to go, Rusty.
8.4 seconds the gap between Murphy and Scaife as they came across the start-finish line. This should be an absorbing contest. Who's got the speed now?
That's another 167 kilometres worth of driving to the finish line.
8.4 seconds.
Speed, mate. Watch your speed.
Between first and second place. All pit stops are over now for those leading 2 cars. So it could be a nail-biter.
After all the shuffles, all the pits coming into account now, the PlayStation 2 race score is just simply flat out. Murphy versus Scaife versus Jones and Bow. Richards and Longhurst, Ambrose and Engel, Lowndes and Seaton make up our top 6. Ellery and Youlden in 7th. And Stephen Johnson and Warren Luff go through their final change.
Pump your brake pedal 7 and hold the green button for 2 seconds. Reset your brake balance and anti-roll bars and just make sure your drink bottle's connected. Over.
10 cars, 11 cars on the lead lap. The gap between first and second is 8.4 seconds between this man, Murphy.
He's been much faster, almost 7/10 faster on the second split at the top of the mountain. So we'll check this as Murphy comes across the